Good evening and welcome to high school basketball action on Big Oldies Radio. We are live at Collinwood, Tennessee, where your Wayne County High School Cats and Lady Cats have made the long trip down Highway 13 to battle your Trojanettes and Trojans of Collinwood High School tonight in district action and in rivalry action as well. These two teams usually a lot of times get some classic games going in, and we're excited about having some action tonight. Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Rushing. I'm here with my right-hand man who's sitting on my left, and that's Brent Littrell. We're ready to get some action started here tonight. And Brent, this is always, it doesn't matter to the records or anything. When these two hook up, you got to be ready to play some basketball.
Yeah, we've got both teams undefeated in the district, so it's a big game. We got them at home here, and so we were expecting a good game.
All right, so it should be worth the money to come out tonight, but if you can't, we're glad you're tuning here tonight, and hopefully we'll have some exciting basketball action in boys and girls action tonight. So we'll take a quick break and be back with more of our pregame show right after this. This is high school basketball action on Big Oldies Radio. And welcome back to high school basketball action on Big Oldies Radio. We're here at the Collinwood High School gym, and we're about less than about 8.5 minutes away from tip-off here. Your starting lineup for tonight's game, first for the Lady Cats of Wayne County High School. A little bit different from normal, and we'll talk about that just a little bit. You're going to have a senior, number 42, Presley Daniel. Senior Adeline Odell, she wears number 33, and Mary Grace Littleton wears 32, another senior. You're going to have a junior in the lineup tonight. That's Ava Ashley, wears number 25, and another senior, Kate Bryson, wears number 14. She'll be starting for the Lady Cats tonight, who will be without one of their leaders on offense and defense, and that's Lou Prater, who suffered a knee injury. We'll talk about more of that in a moment there. The Lady Cats come in with a 17-4 overall record, 2-0 in District 11, and they are coached by Molly Ashley, or many of you still know her around the area as the former Molly York. For your Collinwood Trojanettes, starting will be the lone senior on the squad, number 11, Ellie Blaylock. Then a pair of juniors, and number 2, Abby Smith, and number 22, Sophia Keaton. A sophomore, number 42, is Sarah Creasy, and a freshman in the lineup, starting lineup, number 4, Emmy Reese Brown. And of course, we were talking about injuries there, and as far as I know, I didn't even know it till we got here tonight that Lou Prater has suffered a knee injury. I don't know the extent of it, but she is not dressed out for tonight's game. That takes a pretty big hit for the Lady Cats, and of course the Trojanettes know how that is. They've lost Belle Robinson early in the season, so that's both teams without one of their leading players, and you've been through that yourself. You know, Brent, you know how that is.
Yeah, it's a big hit when you're a single A school and you lose one of your starters. You know, it takes a couple games to get that fall through.
Yes, and I think like Collinwood's been trying all season to adjust without Bell. Looks like they've come along, but still, you know, they've got a lot of young players to have to do that with. And before I forget it, Collinwood comes in with a 9-9 overall record, 2-0 in district play. So these are the two top teams in the District 11 right now, both undefeated so far. And tonight, whoever kind of be in the driver's seat, the winner comes out on top in this game tonight. It's a very important ball game tonight.
Yeah, it's a big thing to come out on top of your district. Lady Trojans stole a win over at Perry County, so that was good to come in here 2-0.
All right, we'll take another break and be back with the rest of our pregame show and tip-off right after this. This is high school basketball action on Big Oldies Radio. And welcome back to high school basketball action here on Big Oldies Radio. And we're just about less than 4 minutes away from getting this first contest tonight in girls basketball action as your Lady Cats and Trojanettes will be getting underway. Rivalry goes back a long way. I guess the high schools are both probably over 100 years old. And I think both of them been playing basketball close to that long, and you know, every time it's ever been a scheduled game, it's always got a good turnout. We've got stands are packed right now, and even actually you can see people standing out in the lobbies. So that's just nothing unusual to see this. If anything,
for early tip-off, you know, it's 4:30 and people are just rolling in here. So yeah, it means a lot to the community, these games.
And you that are listening out there, I hope that you know that everybody has gotten the message that it is starting an hour earlier, and that's in case of the weather that's scheduled to come in tonight. And you know, of course, you know what weather is unpredictable, but we're all here with a 5 o'clock tip-off tonight in this game, and you know, where it's basketball, football, baseball, anywhere on the diamond, hardwood, football field, game of horseshoes. If it involves any town from Collinwood and Waynesboro, you know, you're going to get a lot of interest and a lot of people come out, and they're passionate about it.
Yeah. Our communities do a great job supporting our teams in all the sports.
Yeah, I think it's always been good for all the people around, you know, and I've seen, and you have, we've seen it over the years, you know. Sometimes it looks like it's the North versus South Civil War like that, you know, but thing that they said back in the Civil War days, Brent, what I learned in history, that it was brother against brother a lot in that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of that way here in Wayne County. Is you've got most of the players here on each team from the schools, they know each other. A lot of them do. They did in my day, and they still do that. And there's a lot of people here from both towns that know each other very well, and a lot that are even related too. So it's a family thing a lot of times too.
Yeah.
And of course, you had a brother growing up. He's a few years older than you. And there was probably a rivalry there too. If you guys out shooting a little one-on-one, it probably got heated, didn't it?
Yeah. Usually a fight or something break out.
But the thing is, these games happen all the time, and it seems like everybody's got tempers flaring, and maybe feelings hurt when they walk out or leave the playing field or the gym. Next day, the sun comes up, and everybody knows each other again. It's all behind us, and it's back to life as normal. So that's the good thing about sports, that you can leave it. You can leave it there when you leave. All right, we're gonna just about ready to get ready for our pregame ceremonies. We'll have looks like an invocation and a national anthem. So we'll go ahead and at this time and turn it over to the PA announcer here for that.
At this time, we'd like to ask for everyone to please stand and remove your hats for our invocation, followed by the national anthem.
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we just want to thank you for this day, Lord. We just want to thank you for all the many blessings that you lay upon our lives, dear Lord. Dear Lord, please be with both teams tonight, Lord. Keep us safe and just injury-free, Lord. We just want to thank you for sending your Son, Jesus, to die on the cross for our sins, Lord. Let us all have safe travels home, Lord. Please be with the refs, Lord. Let them be just and fair. We just want to thank you for everything. In Jesus' name, amen.
And that's your national anthem. And that was Sarah Creasy on that invocation there. And we're just a few minutes away as they'll get through the starting lineups. And then again, tonight, we'll talk about, I'm sure the people from Waynesboro are quite familiar with their team. Some of those that might be watching and listening tonight in the Collinwood area. One of the things we can tell you about is we're going to see something similar that we did last Friday night when the Frank Hughes boys team was here, where they had one player that lit us up to 33 points, and that was Devin Dykes. They've got Ava Ashley, and she's kind of the same way as, you'll probably see her post up a little bit more than Dykes did, but she'll bring the ball down the floor at a time. She'll shoot from the perimeter, and I think she's probably averaging just probably up close to what Dykes does in the upper 20s, maybe even close to 30 points a game.
Yeah, she does many things for that team, and like you said, from breaking pressure to scoring when they need it. So Trojanettes will have her handful with her.
And of course, her mother's the head coach and an all everything player for the Lady Cats in her day. She was Molly York then, Molly Ashley. So she's probably pretty much born with a basketball in her hand. All right, we're about ready for the Collinwood starting lineups as well as the light show starts. And Trojanettes, again, they'll have their usual 5, and that it's been pretty much the same since about the second or third game of the season. Belle Robinson was in the starting lineup. She's a junior, and she's out for the rest of the year. That brought Sarah Creasy into the starting lineup, and pretty much been the same ever since. And you've got, as I said, a senior, 2 juniors, and a sophomore, 1 freshman in the starting lineup, and the entire bench for the Trojanettes is freshmen. So and we've seen them grow this year, Brett. They've showed some improvement for the freshmen that they're playing a lot, and we've seen a few of the other ones that have gotten key minutes late in games. So, they're setting up things for maybe the future and possibly, maybe even tournament time this year.
Yeah, that first game in without Bell against Waterloo, things look really bleak, but like I said, they've adjusted, done some things well since then.
And absolutely, and you said they really came together and played a good solid second half up at Perry County, pulled out a win up there. Back around, as you mentioned, the Waterloo time, they might not have been able to do that then. All right, we're just about set to get started here. The Trojanettes and the Lady Cats will get going. It'll be Molly. I'm probably going to make the mistake of calling Ava Molly a bunch of times tonight, but it's Ava Ashley going to be jumping it off against Sophia Keaton. They'll be going to the goal. The Lady Cats to the lobby end of the gym. The Trojanettes to the opposite end. And we're set. Here is the jump ball. It is knocked around, picked up, and controlled by Collinwood.
A low toss. Good for us.
He'll work it around to the top. That's Brown will have the ball up front. She looks over the defense, gets it over the left wing, back out to Brown. Work to the right side. We'll see him work at the perimeter. Come out in a zone.
Yeah, they got a 2-3, putting a little pressure up high.
There's Smith on the wing. Trying to look inside. Now if you look at Brown around. Here's a pass tried to get it inside. It's deflected, but and saved. Now Blaylock will have it out front. Gets it over to Smith on the right wing. Back to Blaylock. She looked to get some instructions from the bench. Now Smith trying to find somebody inside. Gets it to Creasy. Here's a loose ball finally picked up by Collinwood. Here's a pass into the corner. Blaylock, nice pass inside. Here's another shot up that's going to be blocked. Heaton tried to score, and that was a block down low. And a jump ball. It'll be Lady Cat ball. All right, they'll work it in. This is Adeline Odell who will bring the ball down the floor. Go right wing to Bryson. Back to Odell. Looking for Ashley. She's being guarded closely by Emmy Brown. There's a pass over there. It's going to have a 3-point attempt that is off the mark. Rebound down low, and we're going to have a tied up held ball. Bryson got it, but she was then tied up with it, and it'll be Collinwood ball.
We definitely had a body on Ashley on that box out, because that was textbook right there.
Well, he's probably been well scouted, so there's no that. Of course, they were over Keaton on that. Got that block. They know how she's probably the leading scorer for Collinwood as well. Here's a pass going to be knocked away and stolen. That was Presley Daniel coming down with it. Gets a pass down. Here's a cross-court pass. Bryson passed up the 3. Now they'll work it back out to Odell out front. She'll set up the offense. Got some zone defense as well. Kind of a box and one. They'll work it around the perimeter. Here's Odell. Gets it to Daniel. Trying to find Ashley inside. Now they're going to get a 3 from up top. It's in and out, no good. Rebound clear by Collinwood. And that's Abby Smith with the ball. Over a minute gone. There are a couple of minutes gone now. No score in the game. Here's Brown on the wing, looking inside. Now she gets the Blaylock up high. Working around to the left side. Smith. Back to Brown, who comes out to get it. Gets it to the high post to Keaton. And she passes it down low on the block, but their shot is missed, and there's going to be a scrum down on the floor, and it'll be another held ball. And a good pass inside to Creasy, but she was too far under the basket.
Yeah, I would like to see Sophia shoot that one right inside the free throw line, and then maybe go get her own rebound off
Yeah,
that.
I was looking for that shot right there. That should have been a makeable shot for her. Here's Bryson. She wants a three from the right wing.
Good tip.
She finally runs down. Bryson gets her own rebound. They'll run it over to Idle. Try to get it inside to Ashley. Cross court pass. Here's a shot off the glass. Good. That's Mary Grace Littleton with the basket. And the first points of the game with just over 5 minutes to play. 2-0. Lady Cats lead. Here's Smith being guarded closely by Odell. Trying to work it and find some room. Now she gets a little room. Bounce pass on the inside. Shot is going to be blocked and a foul. They did get that one to Sophia Keaton down low, and she went up, and Ava Ashley blocked the shot, but she's going to be called for a foul. If that was more than likely some body contact in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Abby did a good job of hitting that gap. You know, on the perimeter, we were just kind of been passing it. She found the gap and made that play happen.
First free throw is up and no good. Keaton's there for the second, and it's in there. And it's a 2-1 ball game. Here's Odell out front. Gets it to Littleton. Now Daniel comes and gets it over to Bryson. Into the corner to Odell. Her shot is off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Creasy. Collinwood wants to run with it. Blaylock all the way down, kicks it over in the corner to Keaton. She can't get anything with it, so she'll work it back out. Smith brings it out to set up the offense, and she'll hand it off to Blaylock. 2-1, 4:07 to play, first quarter here early on. Here's Brown trying to get one pass inside. It's going to be tied up, and I think we may get a foul. Well,
yeah, I had one of the guards got her from the backside holding.
Foul on number 33, Adeline Odell. I'm saying Adeline. I don't know if that's Adeline, you know. I'm sure I'll butcher some names before we're done. Blaylock wants to work it in from the baseline. Her pass is knocked away and out of bounds.
Haven't seen that height yet. They have to adjust.
Yeah, and there was a cross court from out of bounds. Probably going to be a hard one to get in anyway.
You got the backboard blocking you a little bit.
Now they'll work on the other side of the baseline. She wants to get it out high to Brown. Brown wants to drive inside, pulls up in the lane, and takes a couple of too many steps. And that's going to be the turnover.
Yeah, she bobbled it on the Euro, and that made it look awkward, and they called it.
Yeah, it looks like that was going to happen. If she hadn't done that, maybe it got it away a little bit.
Yeah, she could have got away with it.
Here's Ashley out front, trying to find her high post. Has the ball stolen by Smith. Tried to get that up the high post to Presley Daniel, and intercepting it was Abby Smith.
Right.
Here's Smith. Kicks it out to Brown. Brown pulls up the free throw line. Shot rattles good.
Nice roll.
That was in and out and back in. So it's a 3-2 game now. Collinwood leads by 1. 3:20 to play first quarter. There's Odell out front. Gets it to Daniel. Daniel back to Odell. She had a shot, passed it up, and she lobs it back into Daniel. Kicks this one out for a three, and that one's good. Mary Grace Littleton with the three, and I think she's got all 5 points for Wayne County. 5-3 with 3 minutes to play first quarter. Blaylock will bring it across the timeline. They'll pick her up high. She picked up a dribble now. Finally gets it over to Smith. Here's a pass inside. Has it knocked away loose, and you've may have a tie-up. They'll finally get it back out. Here's Smith. Gets it back to Blaylock, who set up the offense. She looks to the bench. Here's the pressure coming up high, but now she'll get it over to Brown. He'll set it up. Creasy on the wing. Looking for Blaylock in the corner. She wants to drive baseline. Pulls up for a jumper. Good.
Got
Good little base. About a 10 to 12 foot.
I like that instead of going all the way in.
Stop and pop here. Okay, here's a cross-court pass on the other end. They'll work it out front to Odell.
Nice tip.
Nearly stolen.
It's got them baffled a little bit.
15-footer by Daniel from the corner. Won't go in. There's a rebound put back up and in. And who was that? Mary Grace Littleton.
She saw that first one go in, and she hadn't missed one since.
Yeah. So that puts the Lady Cats back up by 2. 7-5, under 2 minutes to play first quarter. It's pass over to the right wing to Brown. Brown working, gets it to Smith. Smith looking inside, and she'll get it over to the left wing, over to Blaylock. Back to Smith, over to the right side. They like to pass the ball working around the perimeter. Smith out high, over to Brown, trying to get a post up, and she'll work it around, get it back to Blaylock. Blaylock up high. She drives inside, tries to get the ball in. It's going to be knocked away and stolen.
Try to shoot that right inside the free throw.
Yeah, she did. She kind of got out of control, and her pass was intercepted. Here's a runner down the other end. There's a shot, a bump. No good, but there's
late whistle.
Here's a hip.
What a good call.
It was a good call. And I think they're calling out on Sarah Creasy.
Just a little bit late, but he got it right.
That'll send Presley Daniel to the line to shoot 2. That was the first team foul for Collinwood. First on Sarah Creasy. First free throw on the way, good by Daniel. A couple of substitutions in. Cabry Carroll will come in for Ava Bryson, as Sarah Creasy will take a seat for the Trojanettes, as Bryn Cruz will check into the game. Here's Daniel's second toss on the way, good. The lead is 4 with 1:06 to play first quarter. 9-5 here in Collinwood. Lady Cats lead. Here's Blaylock, kicks it out to Cruz. Pass to the inside. And now they kicked it back out. Here's Blaylock wanting to drive. There's a bump, no foul call. I was looking for at least a charge or block, but here's a runner down the other way. As Carroll was too far under to get that one to make the shot. Kicks it back out for a three-pointer. Good. And somebody beside Littleton made a basket there, so it's Adeline Odell with a three-pointer, and it's a 12-5 game. 30 seconds to play, first quarter.
Need to get the last shot right here.
Blaylock out front, gets to the high post to Brown. They'll kick it back to her. Brown still one. They're playing catch now. That one almost got away on the right side. They'll get it over to Cruz on the left. Her pass is tipped and stolen. Wanting to run the other way. Here's Cabry Carroll, who lost the handle on the dribble. Gets it back without anything. Here's Presley Daniel with a jumper from at the buzzer, and it's good.
Man, we needed that last shot and turned it into a 4-point swing.
So after one quarter, your score, the Lady Cats 14, Trojanettes 5. Second quarter action coming right up on Big Oldies Radio.
Footer underneath that.
And we move to the second quarter here in basketball action on Big Oldies. It'll be Collinwood basketball, as they'll have to scramble to get it as they put the ball down and started counting, but they got it, worked it in. Here's Smith on the right side being guarded closely. Works it back over to Blaylock to Cruz. Cruz trying to find Smith again. She comes up high to get it and gives some good pressure out here on the perimeter now. Here's a pass going to get away and out of bounds. So the turnover will give the ball over to the Lady Cats. Their guards coming out and put some pressure on Collinwood guards, and causing some bad reaction there.
Yeah, they've taken away the paint and the three. So
we got Shylin Smith in for the Lady Cats now. She brought the ball down the floor. She has it out there up high, gets it in the corner to Bryson. She's going to try a three. Shot is missed. Short rebound by Carroll. Put back up. Her shot's missed. Rebound battle for again. It looks like we're going to get a jump ball. And that'll stay down on this end
with the Lady Cats.
With the Lady Cats. Now, Smith will work it in from the baseline. Gets it in to Ashley. Her turnaround jumper's good. Nice little turning to her left or to her right, kind of the opposite way.
She made it look easy, but that's not an easy shot.
That's not an easy shot going from that direction, being a right-hander. Trying to get the ball down inside, going to be deflected and stolen again. Ashley has it, gets it down to Smith, who tries to get inside to Daniel. And
Good dig out.
And it's stolen by Abby Smith. Now they recover and they'll get down. They got to hurry because the count is on. Blaylock comes across the line, gives it to Smith on the right side, being guarded closely by Bryson. She'll get it back to Ellie out front. Over to Bryn Cruz. Back to Blaylock. They'll look over the defense. Trying to find a cutter. Here's Smith. Has the ball almost knocked away, but she keeps it. Back to Blaylock. Back to Smith on the right side. Pass inside to the high post. Layup. Good. Nice little drive and finish by Emmy Reese Brown on that one. 16-7 your score. Smith will set it up high. Gets it over to Carroll on the wing. Cross court pass over to Daniel. Daniel down in the corner. Here's Smith. Passed up a three. She gets it inside to Ashley. Another turnaround jumper. Good.
Wow.
She got a good touch on those inside jumpers.
Yeah, they were right with her. That's a great shot.
18-7. Lady Cats lead by 11. Under 6 minutes to play in first half. Here's Smith on the right side. Wants to drive. Tried to find somebody to get it to. Here's Cruz out front. Gets it back to Blaylock, and they'll reset. Cruz on the left wing. Tries to get it up high. Here's Brown again. Kicks it back out for a three that's missed and recovered by the Lady Cats as Daniel brought down that rebound. She'll get it out to Smith and she'll bring it down, get it across. They set things up. Here's Bryson up high. Her pass gets away and it's going to be battled and finally stolen. Good job to try to save it. Here's a runner down there and pass is knocked away and out of bounds. Good idea of trying to get it to Brown, but there was a good recovery down there for the defensively to knock it away. So Collinwood will have it under their own basket. Blaylock will key it in. Gets it into Brown out front. Over to Keaton. Keaton wants to drive baseline. Runs into Ashley and she'll get it back out to Brown. Here's Smith, top of the key. Being guarded by Smith. Smith on Smith out there. And we're going to get a timeout. So it'll be timeout Collinwood. It'll be a full timeout. All right, so Lady Cats, as I said, they've built an 11-point lead here with 4:52 to play in the first half. Collinwood having a hard time there. They want to try to work it inside to the post, but those tall players inside are keeping them from doing that.
Yeah, the only time we've been successful is if we draw them out a little bit and go around them from underneath the zone. But this far as throwing it right to the block, we haven't got anything out of that.
You have to be impressed with their guards out there. They were kind of sagging off early on, but now they're right there putting pressure on the ball handlers, wherever it's at. So it's going to be a tough time to find some points tonight. They're going to have to figure something out.
Yeah, offensively, also with the Lady Cats, they haven't had an easy shot. They have made shots with somebody right on them. They've done a good job on that.
So after the timeout, we're set to play. Collinwood will have the ball. If they may have to hustle over there again. They put the ball on the floor.
Well, this is a totally different crew. We hadn't had these guys, and different crews do different things, and they're ready to go.
All right, they'll work it in. Blaylock trying to get around to the right side. Gets it over to Brown. Back to Blaylock as she'll come back out front. Being guarded pretty closely. Gets it over to Smith. Smith being picked up. Now over to Brown. Back to Smith. They're getting in the corner. Blaylock, she wants a three. Good.
Shot.
Ellie Blaylock knocks down the three. That cuts it down to single digits again. It's 18-10. Here is Daniel up high, looking into the corner to Smith. Back over here's a three from the corner that's knocked around the rebound, finally recovered by Collinwood as Brown outfought him for that one. That was Odell trying another three over there. Here's a pass down in the corner to be knocked out of bounds to be Collinwood basketball. They'll inbound it from right in front of the Lady Cat bench. Try to find some room over there, and they'll just launch it into the backcourt. Best they can do, just clear it out. Here's Blaylock across the timeline. They'll work it out up high over to the right side. Now back up high over the left side. Tried to get a pass on it to the high post. Pass is knocked away and stolen, and here comes Lady Cats the other way. Pass goes down into the right corner. Here's Presley up high. Presley Daniel. Work it over to the left side, and they're trying to find Ashley inside, and it's stolen away. Nice defense by Keaton. They're trying to cover her up inside, too, down there. They're getting a 2-on-1 on her. Here's Smith, top of the key. Trying to find Browns, finally gets it to her. Gets this one up to the high post. Here's Keaton, wants to drive inside. Their shot is up off the mark. I think it was partially blocked.
I think Sophia's about to just turn and shoot one from about 5 feet.
Guidon Smith will go back to the bench as Kate Bryson will re-enter the game for the Cats. Here's a nice pass inside to Keaton. Her shot is blocked, but a foul is going to be called on. Looks like Presley Daniel got her. And that was her team's first of the second quarter. 3:11 to go. It's 18-10 with Keaton shooting 2. First shot on the way is good. She'll be there for the second toss. Cuts it to a 7-point game. Second shot on the way, also good. So if she knocks them both down, and it's 18-12. So Odell will go back to the point guard duties, and that's where Lou Prater, I think, usually plays for them, is bringing the ball down there and working that. So they're having to do a good job of trying to overcome that and adjust to it. Here's a three-pointer that's missed. A high rebound and probably the shortest player on the floor out-jumped everybody to get it. That was Abby Smith. Here's Smith on the right wing. Gets it out front to Blaylock. Back to Smith. Being guarded closely. They'll work it around the perimeter. Driving the baseline is Blaylock. Trying to get a shot up there and didn't get anything, but she runs it back down. Here's a drive inside. Good pass, dish off for the layup. Good. Good baseline move and a pass to Sophia Keaton, and she knocks down the basket. Cuts the lead to 4. It's 18-14. Just 2:12 to play in the half. Here's a pass over the left wing. It's up to the high post. Here's a drive in the lane that is in and out, no good. Rebound is being knocked around. Finally chased down by Kate Bryson.
Littleton finally missed a shot.
Think about 4 different players had a hand on that ball on the rebound. Here's a pass inside that's knocked around. It's going to be, it was knocked out of bounds, and the players followed it, and it'll be Collinwood basketball. They're actually going to get a foul. Did they get? Was that Presley Daniel getting the foul on that? I think they get.
Yeah, it was a loose ball, and she kind of took her down as she was both trying to get the ball.
Yeah. So that's her second foul, team second foul. Here's Brown on the wing. Kicks it over to Smith as they try to get that high post down on the baseline now is they're working around to Brown. They pass it quicker than I can say their names most of the time, but we'll try to keep up with them. Here's Blaylock getting in the high post to Creasy. Bounce inside to Keaton, and she's going to draw another foul.
With strong move again.
So that was Mary Grace Littleton, and I think she's going to get called for the foul inside. She was a little down too far low to get the shot away, but she got the contact down there.
Yes,
yeah.
Sophia done a good job of, like I said, going up with 2 hands strong and drawing the contact.
First free throw by Sophia is up and missed.
Needed that.
That was the first foul on Mary Grace Littleton. Team's third foul. Second free throw, good.
Nice.
And we're cut the lead to 3. It's 18-15, 1:22 to play first half. I thought we were going to get a shot from the right side. If we passed it up, they'll pass it around the perimeter. I don't know if they're going to hold and try to kill a little time. There's Bryson on the right wing. She'll get back up high to Odell, and she'll work it around to Littleton. There's Bryson. Odell on the right side. They're double teaming Ashley down low. Here's a shot that's rims all the way around and comes out. Collinwood with the rebound. There's Blaylock, gets it to Smith. And she's looking for Brown, gets it to her. Looking over the defense. Gives it back to Smith. To Blaylock. They'll play a little catch, get it up to that high post.
Shoot that.
She's got to shoot that, but she kicks it out. Here's Blaylock, has it knocked away and stolen. She's got that turnaround. So
yeah, a little 10-footer there would be great.
A good look on that turnaround jumper there, but she's passing it up. Here, Daniel not going to pass up a 15 baseline jumper, but
we need the last shot right here, if possible.
Rebound is finally recovered by Keaton.
Got the one.
We'll have it. 10 seconds to play and a half. Here's over to Smith.
Let's go.
For Brown, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Brown's going to pull up. Three-pointer is going to be deflected, and it's going to fall short. And that will be the end of the first half. All right, got a pretty close game here. Halftime score is Wayne County 18, Collinwood Trojanettes 15. We'll be back with the first half wrap in just a minute. This is high school basketball action on Big Oldies Radio. And welcome back to high school basketball action, where at the half, your Lady Cats have a 3-point lead over the Trojanettes. It's 18-15. Ran out to a Lady Cats led 14-5 after one quarter, and ran that up to an 11-point lead at 18-17. But Collinwood scored the final 8 points of the half, and we stand at 18-15. Brent, so far a good ball game. Looked like for a while it might get turned into a rout, but the Trojanettes have fought back, and we've got a pretty tight game right now.
Yeah, hats off to both coaches. Molly's strategy on defense is to take away the outside and the post play, which Collinwood, that's all they score is Sophia inside and threes, and they're not giving us any of that. And then on the Trojanet side, Coach Ashley has got the box and one going on and taking away their strong point. So it's definitely a good defensive game.
Right. Okay. Let's see what kind of numbers we got in the first half.
All right. For Collinwood, we got Ellie Blaylock with 5 points, Sophia Keaton with 6 points, Amy Reese Brown with 4 points, with a total of 15 points. On the Waynesboro side, we have Ava Ashley with 4 points, Mary Grace Littleton with 7 points, Adeline Odell with 3 points, Presley Daniel with 4 points, a total of 18 points.
So there's where we stand at halftime, and it depends on we see what kind of adjustments are made, but looking forward to an exciting second half of action here tonight. So we're going to send it back to the station, take a little break, and hope you keep it right here. This is high school basketball action on Big Oldies Radio. We'll holler at you in a minute. All right.
Get set.
Ashley did it.
And welcome back to high school basketball action on Big Oldies Radio. I'm Mike Rushing with Brent Littrell here tonight in Collinwood, where we've had a pretty good first half. It's 18-15 in favor of the Lady Cats, and Collinwood, as we get set to start the second half, they still got a little time on the clock. I think they're anxious to get going. Well, interested, Brent, to see what kind of adjustments they might have made for, and see how this second half going. If we have a second half like the first, this should be an exciting finish.
Yeah, I'm looking for the officials who just was counting that ball when it was out of bounds, counting the seconds off. Now they're not up here, so somebody should put the ball down and start counting now.
Yeah, turnaround's fair play, huh? Somebody go get them and say, hey, y'all, come on.
No, this crew's done a great job.
Yeah, they are. I think they're doing an excellent job, and it is kind of funny.
I don't know any of them, but they have done a good job.
He was saying something to the bench there. He may have said he didn't have time to finish his bottle of water. Okay, Colin will have the ball here as they're working in with Blaylock. She pulled up a dribble now. She's going to have to get rid of it. She gets it over to Brown, and they'll get it back to Ellis. She's being guarded closely by Bryson. Here's Smith, gets it to Brown. Got a couple of trying to nowhere to really get the ball worked into the post of the inside, so they're having to try to find shots and work it around, maybe get cutters. Here's Smith being guarded pretty closely. I almost had that pass knocked away.
That one scared me.
Here's Smith again, trying to find Blaylock. Got to watch. She's got to be careful of that 5-second count over there as well. Goes down in the corner. Here's Blaylock, dribbles it around. We're going to try a three from up high. Good. And Abby Smith knocks down a three. And she doesn't shoot a lot of them, but she, on occasion, will hit one. So she puts that one there, and that ties the game at 18. So the Cats will come bring the ball down. They'll work it around the right side. They'll pass it around the perimeter. Try to get this to a high post with Daniel. Here's a cross-court pass. So drive inside for a layup, good. And Mary Grace Littleton unties it and puts the Lady Cats back on top by 2. Here's Brown on the left side.
Littleton stepped up big in this game.
Yeah, she has. Well, they need, when you lose
Gotta count.
Lose a player like Lou Prater, so somebody's got to pick up the slack. Here's a pass inside, now kick back outside. Here's Smith wants to drive in, a little hook shot up and good. And we're tied back. So a couple of minutes gone into the third period, we're tied at 20. Bryson over to Odell. Odell in the corner, pulls inside. Her jumper won't go, but it's ran down on the rebound by Littleton. Here's Molly. Here's Ashley. That's Molly's daughter, Ashley. I'm going to have to get used to her
doing
name.
the same thing.
Here's a pass that's knocked away. And you're going to see Ava came out. That's the first time we've seen her shoot one of the outside shots, that far out of threes. But she's known she usually hits a few during the game. And you might see that more here in the second half. Pass comes into Blaylock. She drives it inside, has her shot tied up and blocked and stolen.
She hit a wall there.
Presley Daniel coming up with the ball. She hands it off to Ashley. She'll bring it down. And here she is trying to drive in for the layup. Good.
Good move.
Again, she's going to come out. She's leaving the post area and coming out and playing the perimeter, and she may be even harder to guard that way.
Yeah, and against the box and one, most definitely.
Here's Keaton with a shot off the glass. Good. She got freed up inside, went up over Daniel, and she scores, and we're tied again. 5 minutes to play.
Strong.
Third quarter. Here's Bryson. Gets it to Daniel up front. Now Ashley's back on the inside. Here's a drive on the baseline and passing up a shot, kicking it back out. Here's Littleton, runner in the lane, good. Mary Grace Littleton having quite a night.
Yeah, she's stepping up.
She's in double figures. Here's a shot from the free throw line that's in and out, no good. And Littleton grabs the rebound. She'll kick it out to Bryson. She had a player inside, but kicks it back out. Littleton pulls up for an 18-footer, got it. So Littleton She's knocked down several points here. Blaylock across the line. Gets it to Smith, being pressured. Gets it over to Brown, back to Blaylock. Here's a pass on the inside. Shot is up, blocked, out of bounds. Now, got that down on the low post to Sarah Creasy, and she was giving up about 7 or 8 inches of height on that one.
Yeah, we'll get it on the block. We're going to have to look for some cutters.
Bren Cruz comes back in. Here's the pass going in to Smith, getting in the corner to Blaylock. Has it knocked away, finally recovered. And Smith will have the ball. Blaylock comes up high. Bren Cruz, as we said, she's in the game for Sarah Creasy. You got Gabriel Carroll in the game for the Lady Cats now. There's ball on the wing, got the count on. There's a pass inside, it's deflected and stolen, and the Lady Cats will go the other way with it. 4-point lead in the ball. Here's a pass down on the baseline. Shot is missed. Carroll gets her own rebound, trying to find a shot.
It's a good foul by Abby.
And a foul is going to be Abby Smith.
That was about to turn into a layup. She got her on the floor. That's a good foul.
That's the first foul of the second half here. Here's a shot on the inside, and they found Ava Ashley on that one, and she lays it in. So it's a 6-0 run for the Lady Cats, and they lead by 6. 28-22, 3:15 to play, third quarter. Tried to get this one to the high post, has it knocked away and stolen. They're getting the passes deflected and stolen. Here's a pass down on the baseline for a layup. Good. That's Capri Carroll with the bucket. It's an 8-0 run now. Blaylock across the line, gives it to Smith. Smith finally gets it over to Cruz, and she picks up her dribble. Now finally gets rid of it. Here's a shot from the baseline. That's going to be a foul.
Glad they got that one.
Smith got it over to Emmy Reese Brown, and she took about a 15-footer from the corner, and she drew the foul. The foul was on Littleton.
Yeah.
That was her second, team's first. That'll send Emmy Brown to the line to shoot 2. First toss on the way, rattles good. Breaks the 8-0 run. It's 30-23, 2:40 to play, third quarter. Brown's second toss on the way. This one's too strong, and a rebound taken by Ashley. Ashley will bring the ball down the floor. Gets it over to Littleton on the wing. Littleton wants to drive inside, kicks it out to Carroll. Now turnaround jumper in the lane by Carroll and missed, and the rebound was knocked out of bounds. So it'll be Carroll tried to save it, but it had been knocked. It hit before she could touch it. So it'll be Wayne County ball. They're working in from the baseline. Here's the pass goes into Daniel. Carroll in the corner. Pass up a 3 to get it into Ashley. She's got a turnaround jumper. It's short. A rebound put back up. No good. And Sophia Keaton finally clears it out.
Good rebound by Sophia.
Here's Blaylock across the line. Gets it to the high post. Kicks it over in the corner. Cruz going to try a 3. No good. Rebound. Chased down by Carroll. Long shots result in long rebounds at times, and that what did. Carroll was able to run it down. Here's Ashley. Wants to drive to the right side. Now she's backing in her player. Turnaround jumper is good. That roll over the rim. She posted up Emmy Brown, and that's a mismatch all against her or anybody else.
Yeah, she just slowly backed her down there.
I think they say Ava Ashley is about 6'2".
I think she's taller than that. I was standing on the floor a while ago.
She probably
We were eye to eye.
Here's a three-pointer from the corner. Good. Ellie Blaylock knocks one down, and she's done that a few times this year.
Boy, we needed that.
That cuts the lead to 6, so gets them a little bit closer. Minute and 20 to go, 32-26. Here's Presley Daniel up high. She kicks it over to Carroll on the right side. She backs it out, gets it a little to Odell. Odell, Daniel in the corner. Now she's going to pull inside the three-point line and let it go, and the shot is missed, and it'll go out of bounds. Cruz had the rebound and lost the handle and just rolled down her leg out of bounds.
Yeah, it's just a young mistake. Couldn't find the handle on it.
And she'll go to the bench as Creasy will come in and replace her. That's going to send Odell to the bench. Here's a pass that's too tall for Ashley to go up and get, and goes out of bounds. as Ava Bryson came back in and tried to lob it into her and got it up too high. So Collinwood will have the ball with 1:02 to play in the quarter. They'll inbound it in the backcourt as Blaylock will bring it across the line, get it over to Brown. Brown wants to drive, now kicks it across to Smith.
Good pass.
Tried to get one inside, now it comes outside. Here's a stop at a pull-up jumper by Brown that is missed.
I like that shot. Good shot.
Ashley clears the rebound. They'll bring it down with Littleton. Here's a pass inside to Daniel. Turnaround jumper in the lane is good.
Good pass by Kate Bryson inside there.
It was a good pass and a good finish by Presley Daniel. Here's Brown on the wing, being guarded closely. Her pass is knocked away. Knocked away here. It gets back to Brown.
The referee saved us.
He did. He kept that foot from going out of bounds. Smith pulls it up, gives it over to Blaylock. There's 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Here's Brown, pulls it up, going to have to get rid of it. Here's a long three-pointer, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, battle for the rebound, knocked away. Bryson picks it up, and there will not be a shot, and that'll be the end of the third quarter. After 3 quarters, it's the Lady Cats 34, the Trojanettes 26. We'll have fourth quarter action coming right up. This is high school basketball on Big Oldies Radio. All right, there we go. And welcome back to high school basketball action on Big Oldies as we head to the fourth quarter. The Lady Cats will have the ball as they lead by 8. It's 34-26. They'll bring it in to Ashley, and she'll bring it across the timeline. She went from post to guard. Now she thought about a 3. She pulls it up, gets it over to Cabry Carroll. Back to Ashley. Here's Odell out. Works it over in the corner to Carroll. She drives baseline, gets inside. Kicks it back out. Now here's Bryson with a shot from out front. No good. Rebound cleared. Sophia Keaton brings it out. So, good look for Bryson on that one. Shot wouldn't drop. Here's Blaylock across the line. Trying to get some ball screens there.
Double screen.
Yep. Blaylock tries to drive between a couple of players, and they're going to get a foul. There's a whistle, and I think Bryson knocked the ball away, and I think they may get her for it. No, actually the foul is on Adeline Odell.
Yeah, I didn't think Kate got her.
Her Odell's second foul, team's first for the fourth quarter. 7:14 to play in the game. They'll inbound it to Blaylock, get it to Smith. Back to Blaylock as they'll play catch with it. Smith. Brown comes up high to get it. Now, Blaylock has a pass back that was almost thrown away and recovered. Here's a pass inside. Creasy has nowhere to go, so she kicks it back out. Now this pass is knocked away. Over to the wing. Here's a 3 on the way. Good
Pass by Abby.
Emmy Reese Brown with the triple and cuts it to a 5-point lead. 2 pretty good solid teams battling here tonight. Here's Ashley trying to work one-on-one. Kicks it over to Odell. Odell will bring it back out front. Looking over the defense now. They'll set it up. They don't care to run some clock here. They'll get it inside to Daniel. She tries to make a move. Spins once, twice.
We'll get her for a travel.
And they're going to get to maybe turn it around one time too many.
Well, that shot didn't go anywhere where it was almost spiked like a volleyball when she went up with it. So,
yeah, Sophia Keaton, the one true tall player we've got. She
Sophia
has to get that one.
she has some hang time for that.
Blaylock brings it across the line, gets it over to Smith on the wing. Being guarded by Bryson, gets it over to Brown. Brown out front, back to Smith in the corner to Blaylock. Back out front to Smith. Here's Brown wants to drive in on a reach and a foul, and I think that was going to be on Littleton. No, actually, actually 33. I think you see it was that Odell with.
Is that not her third yet?
That was her third. Adeline Odell with the foul. It's third team second. Blaylock across the line, gets it to Smith. Smith trying to look inside. Now she gets it to Brown up high. Up on the right side to Blaylock, and she'll dribble it around. They work it around to the left side. Here's the high post again. Kicks it in the corner. Got a three on the way. Good. Ellie Blaylock with another three, and we've cut it to 2, and we're going to get a timeout.
It's good ball move by the
I think we got a whistle. Inadvertent whistle.
He thought it was a timeout.
I think he thought Ashley Sherrill was calling a timeout.
That happens. I've refereed, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes the coaches are yelling 5 out. It sounds just like out timeout.
Yeah, timeout. Yeah, I seen that one of that. It's a funny thing. But the official handled it very well. He did the right thing. Here's a dribble inside, almost a turnover. Shot is knocked away out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Cats. They had a good look on the inside that time. Shot wouldn't drop.
Well, she mishandled her dribble, and it threw their timing off.
Collinwood trading by 2 with the ball. Here's Brown. Picked up a dribble. Now she got to get it to somebody. Kicks it out to Blaylock. She wants to try a 3, and this one's short.
Man, that looked good.
Ashley with the rebound. She had a good look on that one. Just off the mark. Here's Ashley wants to drive, work one-on-one. Now she pulls it up, kicks it out to Bryson into the corner. Here's a drive to the baseline. Now Presley Daniel in the corner. Ashley posted up, got in a crowd, and they had the ball stripped away from her and taken away. She had 4 people on her that way. She almost got a frustration foul there on that one, too.
Yeah.
They let that one go. There's a pass knocked away and stolen down here,
Good
and
foul.
I think Collinwood's going to get a foul.
We can at least set our defense.
So Sarah Creasy lost the ball, had it stolen from her, and then she reached and fouled on that one.
All of her Lady Cats are freezing up on this box and one, and somebody's going to have to score besides Littleton and Ashley.
Here's Daniel on the wing looking inside, gets it outside to Littleton. Littleton finds Bryson on top of the key. Daniel on the wing, gets it over to Odell. Odell trying to find Littleton. She does. And she'll bring it up to the top. Set it back up. Pass goes around into the corner. Daniel, they're giving her a 3. She's
giving her anything she wants.
And she's just going to drive baseline for an easy layup.
That's been, she's had that the whole game. What's this? That box and one has got them baffled a little bit.
So it's a 4-point game now, under 4 to play. Here's Smith trying to get some pressure on her, and we're going to get another foul.
That's
And
4.
Odell again. And she's gotten foul prone here late. That's her 4th foul, team's 3rd. So Collinwood will inbound it, bring it in with Blaylock. She'll set up out front, gets it to Smith. To the high post, kicks it out to the wing to Brown. Back to Smith up front. And we've got another foul. And we're getting a little bit tight on the foul situations there. So,
Yeah, they called a couple picky ones on down there, so they just the officials have tightened up just a little bit.
So that was Kate Bryson picking up her first foul. That's the 4th team foul on the Lady Cats. So another one, and Collinwood's in the bonus the rest of the game. Here's the pass over to Brown. Brown Smith. Still a 4-point game, 3:15 to play. Blaylock, top of the key. Over to Brown. Brown gets this one inside. And she's not going to go up over the top. Kicks it out to Brown. She pulls up for a jumper that is off the mark. And the Lady Cats have the rebound. Presley Daniel pulls that one down. Under 3 to play. Lady Cats with a 4-point lead in the ball, and we're going to take a timeout.
We needed that one, the Trojanettes, for just a little break.
This has kind of been like a chess game tonight here, Prince. You've seen, in the first half, we've seen some adjustments made. We've seen the Lady Cats come out making, they've decided to use Ashley in a different way, is getting her out on the perimeter some to shoot, and then going inside. That's worked some, but they've done a good job of adjusting to that, and the Trojanettes have come down, knocked down a few key shots. After getting down, they've battled back.
Yeah, the Trojanettes started, like we said, had to score a couple from the perimeter, and both teams, all players, they're executing well. I'm very, very impressed with both teams.
They are. They're doing very well. I'm impressed with both coaches. They like I said, it's like a chess match. They're countering each other's moves. So, you know, we've got another 2:54 to play here in regulation with a 4-point game. It'd be interesting to see how this winds down.
Yeah, there's definitely some strategy on both sides, and the players are executing, and I like the atmosphere. These are fun games.
And if, you know, this is always, I said, a big crowd. Everybody's always interested in this matchup between these two schools, and they're coming out and being entertained very well in the first game tonight. All right, Lady Cats have the ball. They'll bring it in. There's Littleton on the wing. She wants to drive. Now she pulls up, tries to kick it back out to Ashley, who's being guarded closely. She's being like glue with Brown on her. There's a ball that gets away and almost loose, and we got a timeout called. Like Coach Molly Ashley saved a turnover there.
Did you notice the strategy there? Waynesboro was going to pull it out here and hold it for a little bit and fish us out of the box and then try to drive it. But then they bobbled the ball, so she had to use a timeout.
They had to burn one. I don't know how many she's got left. There's 2:34 to play in the game, and the Lady Cats still lead by 4, 36-32.
I think they were just going to say, see, if y'all don't come out, we're going to hold it.
Yeah. See, Collinwood's they've only got one team foul, so if it comes down to a free throw shooting contest, they'll have to make a few fouls here lately. Inbounded from the baseline, kick it out front, high to Littleton, gives it to Daniel. Bryson in the corner, over to Odell. Odell being guarded closely, almost had it stolen. Now she gets it over they get it to Presley Daniel. She has it out front. Now they'll hand it off to Ashley. And there's a reach and a foul by Emmy Brown.
They tightened up on my hands.
Well, we've seen that in the second half. We've seen a few of those. Some would say ticky-tack, but, you know, contact's contact. If you want to call it a foul, you got to be consistent. So that's all you got to be.
They're doing it both ways.
That foul was on Ellie Blaylock. And instead of actually Emmy Brown. Here's the ball being worked around out front, high to Littleton. Kicks it over all the way into the corner. There's Presley Daniel, drives baseline and picks it up. There's it back out. There's Bryson on the wing. Littleton to Daniel. Daniel wants to drive inside. She goes all the way in for a layup. No good. Rebound put back up and missed by Ashley, and she draws the foul. So Ava Ashley will go to the line to shoot 2. And that was on, I think Sarah Creasy's going to get called for the foul on this one. And that's her third, team's third. So Ava Ashley will go to the line to shoot 2, first of which is good. She's a good shooter, so I'm sure she knocks down free throws very well. Although she misses the second shot. The rebound, we've got a tied up and a held ball.
Needed that, wouldn't it? To secure that rebound.
It was tied up, looked like Sarah Creasy grabbed the ball, and Kate Bryson came right over there around her to tie her up, but it'd be Collinwood ball. Here's Emmy Brown up high over to the pass that's knocked away and out of bounds. Like Abby Smith was trying to get that to Ellie Blaylock. And had Daniel. Daniel has some length. She reached in there and knocked that one away. Here's Blaylock over to Brown. Brown looking over, gets it back to Blaylock. To Smith on the right side. Here's Brown up high. Lobs this one in there and has it stolen. And now we're going to get a held ball. And this will be, Wayne should be with the Lady Cats.
She got that possession back.
And they
made them flip that possession arrow.
Brown she tried to lob that pass in there to that post.
Be Wildcats ball.
It will be, yes, Lady Cat ball. And as Presley Daniel, got to make a little adjustment there.
That was a That was a young player's turnover. Everybody in the gym saw that pass coming. She will learn from that.
And now we're going to get another timeout. Looks like the Trojanettes are going to take a timeout. 1:15 to play. It's a 5-point game. Collinwood, they need the ball. They'll have to, if they can't get it, they'll probably have to start making a couple of fouls and send them to the free throw line. And if that's the case, I'm pretty sure they're going to want the ball in the hands of Ava Ashley. Well, she did miss a free throw. I don't think she'll miss a lot.
No.
So they've got other shooters on the team as well. You know, I think Kate Bryson's a pretty good shooter from the perimeter. I'm pretty sure she could hit free throws as well. And we've seen Littleton's knocked down some pretty nice-looking shots tonight.
Yeah,
so
she's had a hot hand. So I'm going to foul anybody but Ava or Littleton.
So they're going to go full court pressure as they'll inbound and try to get the trap down. Oh, here's a pass that's knocked away, and it went out of bounds. Almost got the steal there.
I thought Sophia had that one.
And she had it and was trying to get it from Bryson.
She ran out of real estate.
They'll work it back inside now to Odell, to Littleton. Here's Ashley up high. She kicks it out. Now they're going to try to run the clock. They're not going to be looking that much for a shot. We're under a minute to play with a 5-point game, and Collinwood's probably going to have to foul if they don't get a steal.
Yeah, they're going to look for a layup or a free throw.
Here's Ashley with the ball, being guarded by Brown. Now she's going to be double teamed.
Don't foul her.
But it's not a shooting situation yet.
Oh, okay. We just got to get to the.
That's the 4th team foul.
I was looking at the wrong side of her.
Blaylock got the foul. That's her 2nd.
Yep.
So next foul will send them to the line, though, as they'll send it in to Ashley, and she's going to be fouled immediately by Emmy Brown. 42 seconds, and I said that's not the one you want to foul, but if they're going to get it to her, you're going to have to foul somebody.
Time is precious,
Yeah,
but I'd
can't.
rather foul another player.
But that's who they're going to try to keep the ball in their hands, and first shot is missed.
What do we know?
There we are. We think it's automatic. Well, there you go. 42.7 to go. Second free throw good. And it's a 6-point game, so you're probably going to have to try to find some shots. They're going to roll the ball in, and Blaylock's going to pick it up and go on the run. Shot, pass is nearly stolen. Recovered, get it over to Brown. And they're going to get her. They're going to keep on close. Here's a 3-pointer by Brown. No good. She runs a rebound down, knocks it away, and it's finally going to be picked up by the Cats, and there's going to be a foul, I think. Looks like Abby Smith, I think, reached on that rebound and get the foul. It is Abby Smith will pick up her 2nd foul, and that's going to send Kate Bryson to the line to shoot 2. Just under 26 seconds, 25.8. A 6-point lead for the Lady Cats, and they can, first shot is up and missed. So you get them to miss shots, you got to make shots. Second free throw, good.
Well, we had a good look down there, just didn't fall.
Yeah. And here's
everybody ready.
Here's a pass that it was intercepted, but it lost out of bounds.
We have to be a little more aware.
Littleton couldn't hang on to that one, couldn't keep it inbounds. Here's Smith wanting to drive, kicks it over to baseline jumpers, in and out, no good. Now the shots just won't fall, and we're going to get another foul. Brown, she's had a couple of misses since the made 3. And she just picked up a foul, and I don't know how many that is on her. It's her 2nd or 3rd.
I think it's 3rd.
I think it is. It's Mary Grace Littleton go to the line to shoot 2. First shot rolls out, no good. See, they're missing the free throws. They've missed half of them as they've shot here, but they're not being able to knock down shots on the other end.
Yeah, we had 3 pretty good looks.
Second shot is also missed, and the rebound cleared. Under 10 seconds to play, 8-7-6. We're going to get a foul here, and that's going to result in Collinwood free throws. And was that Littleton with the foul?
Coach Molly can't be happy with that foul.
No, not really. That was Mary Grace Littleton with a foul. That's the 5th team foul, 3rd on Littleton.
Come on.
Emmy Brown for the free throw. Good.
Nice.
That one rattles through. Only 7 seconds to go in the game, and now it's a 6-point game, so it's all but over. But, you want to go down the best you can.
She missed it on purpose.
She missed that on purpose, and they're going to get a battle for the rebound. And Ava Ashley came out there with it with a couple of them. I think she had it with her right hand, and they had an arm bar on the left hand.
At this point, I'm not fouling anymore.
Probably not. I mean, this is 5 seconds flat to play in the game.
I'll go for the steal, but I'm not fouling.
Ashley going to the line to shoot 2. Second, this one rolls out. So they haven't done a great job of shooting the free throws. Just the Collinwood couldn't hit the shots to try to cut into the lead. Second shot by Ashley is good. 40-33, 5 seconds to go as they inbound the ball. They come down here, going to be a long runner at the end of the game. It draws iron, but falls away, no good. And that is the end of the ball game. Lady Cats get the win tonight over the Trojanettes. Your final score is Wayne County 40, Collinwood 33. We'll have a wrap-up right after this. This is Collinwood at high school basketball action on Big Oldies Radio. Action and district basketball action on Big Oldies Radio, where the Lady Cats are victorious over the Trojanettes tonight by your final of 40-33. With the win, that runs the Lady Cats overall record to 18-4 on the season. They now sit at top of the district standings with a 3-0 record. The Trojanettes dropped to 9-10 overall and 2-1, and they'll sit in the number 2 position tonight. Also, it's Perry County and Frank Hughes playing tonight, so if Perry County gets a win in that one, they'll be tied with Collinwood, but Collinwood will have the head-to-head advantage. But we don't know. We'll try to pass on any of those if we get those scores later on. Let me see. I think we may have one in that one. Our head man over there is giving me the final score. Perry County gets a win over the Frank Hughes Lady Lions, 66-29 over there tonight. All right, Brent, let's look at those final numbers here in the girls' game.
All right, for the Trojanettes, we have Ellie Blaylock with 11 points, Abby Smith 5 points, Sophia Keaton 8 points, Emmy Reese Brown 9 points, total of 33 points. For the Wayne County Lady Cats, Ava Ashley with 13 points, Mary Grace Littleton with 13 points, Adeline Odell with 3 points, Presley Daniel with 8 points, Gabriel Carroll with 2 points, Kate Bryson with 1 point with a total of 40.
40 points. So here's the thing, you can kind of say there's some what-ifs here, You both teams have got key players. Yeah, I got a feeling, say Littleton did a good job maybe stepping up and adding a few points to her average. I don't know if she averages 13 a game or not, but she come in there with a nice key contributor to kind of maybe step up and fill in here for the loss of Lou Prater. And of course, the Trojanettes still trying to overcome the loss of Bill Robinson. You say if both teams had those players playing, you probably still have a game similar to what we had.
Yeah. Hey, neither team can be disappointed with the execution. I mean,
all right, folks, we're going to end this stream here now in just a second and get ready for the boys game here, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. So join us at the other stream for the boys game coming up shortly.
And I think I'm not taking away from any of the other district teams. Perry County and Frank Hughes, they're good enough in their own way. But I think that's probably your two top teams in the district. And if we see that, we're going to see some good classic games between this, and either team could win on any night. So it's going to be a good season.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we're about 10 minutes or so away from boys action, and we'll have that